Welcome to the Wrestlecast. This is episode number 4 on May 19th, 2022. I'm Rocky Sadie, joined by Wesley and Rodney. We are your podcast hosts. What's going on, fellas? There's a lot of shit that's happened in the wrestling this past week.
Not a whole lot of it was good.
No, it seems like shit is flowing everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a lot of stuff with the Hearts and a lot of stuff with Naomi, Sasha. A lot of the meme pages and the Facebook groups are going wild.
Them places are always fucking wild with all kinds of people.
You can't give them anything.
No.
Alright, speaking of flowing shit everywhere, let's talk about SmackDown. What happened on SmackDown? Because I didn't watch it.
I watched it. It wasn't anything too crazy. RK Bro, they opened. I wanted to say about fucking Riddle. I love that every time he comes in and jumps into the ring, there's a flock of a different animal every time he comes onto the show.
You know, I just noticed that. I actually just noticed that the last time I watched, because I think the week before it was like birds or something.
Yeah.
And I think this last time it was like a pack of like llamas or something. I don't know what the fuck it was.
SmackDown was fish and rabbits.
Nice.
Yeah. They had kangaroos one time. It's fucking incredible.
This must be his illusions when he's fucking stoned.
It's gotta be
out of his mind.
Yeah, it's fucking great. So that's really all there is to talk about this. And Sammy trying to pretend like he's part of the table.
Wait, what?
Sammy is on this kick right now that since he's the head of the locker room, he feels like he needs to work closely with the bloodline, and he wants to be like a messenger disciple of them.
Dude, if this doesn't lead to like a feud between Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman, I'll be massively disappointed.
It's almost like what they were doing with same thing they're doing with Cedric.
Yeah.
They just have him riding their coattails, trying to get him on TV and get his ass kicked over and over and over again.
God, I feel like they could be doing so much more with Sammy than just that.
Yeah. Pretty sad.
I feel like that's pretty much all he's done since, since he came back from some injury, like in 2019 maybe, or something like that. Just, I don't know. Every time that I've seen him, he's kind of been this character.
Him and KO used to drive me batshit, but those two guys are so good in the ring. And both of them are really good with the mic. It's sad to see that KO is getting so much TV time the way he is. I guess they're kind of the same character on both shows almost.
They are right now. I think it took a minute, but yeah, they're basically the same character. They're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, it always feels like Sami Zayn is like just so disrespected.
No.
He's like Dolph Ziggler. He can make anybody look good.
I feel like Sami Zayn, at least, again, my limited exposure, Sami Zayn is along, like, with KO, but also, like, with Brian Daniel. What? Daniel Bryan. Holy shit. And before this, we were just talking about how I had it. Nope, not at all. Anyway, he was the only one that could make, like, the fucking vegan champ work, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Sami Zayn, and I mean, KO has proven with this Ezekiel shit that, like, man, he's along that level as well. I mean, I've seen enough of Sami Zayn to know that he's there also. I don't know, every time I've seen him, I always enjoyed him.
Yeah, I mean, not that I didn't not ever enjoy him previous to it, but man, his WrestleMania match he had with Johnny Knoxville was every bit what it should have been. And he made it work. and it was fucking amazing. So he's got my respect big time.
The fucking cattle prod with the fake shock over over the speakers. It was so bad.
Yeah, I just like the giant mousetrap at the
fist,
end.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
It's always a good gag.
Got pinned by a giant mousetrap. So yeah.
Yeah. I like that better than a forklift. I do.
Ooh, I'm going way back on that.
So yeah, that they came out. That set up a Zayn for Zayn versus Riddle. Riddle won. Nothing really special about the match. It was just to get Riddle a win. Ronda came out. I can't stand Ronda as a babyface. I can't stand that smile for somebody who's supposed to be the baddest bitch on the planet.
Yeah, well, somebody backstage, I'm not going to name any names, but, he's really high up in the pecking order, might own the place, basically told her to smile more.
Yeah, it's
so she's like, she took that and ran with it.
So stupid. Like, yeah, this comeback tour is driving me nuts. Yeah, so Ronda came out and said, "I'd die before I quit." And after she lost to somebody in the UFC in 24 seconds. So I thought it was a bit funny for her to come out and say that in her promo. But that was a quick, easy promo. Then we finally got Raquel Rodriguez.
Another unnecessary fucking name change.
Yeah, they've been showing her little vignettes for a couple weeks. And I was mentioning how the videos, they have her flexing and they make her look like she's supposed to be like super ripped.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything on her. I hadn't looked at anything up. But when she came out, I see why they're doing those promos. That is a big woman.
Oh no, she's huge. Huge in the sense that she's incredibly tall.
Yeah, she dwarfed, made Ronda look like a little girl.
Yeah, no, she's big.
But yeah, she came out and she came face to face with Ronda. They gave them a little match. Basically, per big match after showing she was coming, they fed her to Ronda.
Of course, because,
And we were just talking about Ronda. The only way she's going to be able to look good is if she's facing people who are that big. And so that's a good match for her. But
yeah, but if you're going to feed her all the big people and she's going to wipe through all of them,
now all your big people look weak.
Look like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And this is all to lead to Becky, right? Who's not really that big, tall, or...
No, this is SmackDown, so it wouldn't necessarily lead to Becky.
Wow, yeah.
Unless they do the title unification thing again.
Yeah, true.
I mean, ultimately, this leads to Becky.
Sure.
WrestleMania.
All roads lead to Charlotte and Becky.
Basically.
It's just how it works. Then, just like in the men, all roads lead to fucking Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, she beats her up. We got Madcap Moss.
Yeah.
Whatever. He said if he goes down and he ends up winning the title, after winning, he said he's going to win Money in the Bank and then he's going to cash in and he's going to win the title. And instead of a title belt, he's going to get suspenders made. That'll be championship suspenders. So I thought...
You know what? Fucking do it.
All of a sudden, I'm a Madcap Moss fan.
Yeah, just fucking do it.
Nice. I need him to be the one to take down Roman.
I want this to happen so that, I can go on WWEshop.com 3 months later and buy replica championship suspenders.
I might do that.
Nice.
We thought the spinner belt was the most innovative, but no.
No one thought suspenders.
Championship suspenders. That is amazing.
And man's progressive.
So
it's only progressive until the spinning version comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, he comes out. Corbin puts a chair around his head, stomps the chair.
Oh, good.
With the trophy.
Oh.
He takes the big
The Andre
can't be
trophy?
good for
he
life.
takes the big Andre trophy and drops it on the chair while it's around his neck.
What the fuck does Madcap just like stuff that thing in his suitcase every week and just like
They bring it out every week. Whenever he comes out, they bring it out. They did that with Corbin too.
Well, you know what? At least they're putting some use to that trophy.
Yeah. instead of giving him like a ring like AEW does, where you just carry it out in your pocket, put the ring on, they have the whole crew come out carrying this trophy. It's hilarious.
Sure.
So yeah, he drops it on the chair. He fucking supposedly like breaks his neck. The people bring him out on the stretcher. Fucking Corbin says, "I got a joke for you. They're taking you to the hospital."
Oh my god.
Stupid.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's like, how many writers does he have?
oh man,
Not enough.
it's like
Jesus.
It's like I feel bad that there's like so many little things that were kind of funny about this to talk about for a feud that we really don't give a shit about. It's like one of those ones where it's like 1 out of every 4 segments is like actually like kind of funny.
Yeah.
Right.
The rest of them are just like forgettable. Like, I'm tired of it.
Throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. So yeah, then we got Baszler, Natalya, Sasha and Naomi. Sasha and Naomi win. They have all their bullshit. I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit.
And what might be their final appearance ever.
Yeah, could be. Who knows? I knew this group wasn't going to stick around long when I saw they have the Boss Glow shirts. Usually, after they throw people together and they win for a while, they make the shirts for them and then they break them up. So you know this was going to shits.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way when they did. They made shirts for. I think it was Chris Jericho and AJ Styles teamed up for like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And they had the shirts made, and I was all ready to buy them. And then, like a week later, it was like, "Oh, that team's over."
Jericho said
It was all a big ruse.
Jericho said in his book that they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
To try and make their tag team look super serious for the storyline.
Yeah, knowing it was never going to stick.
And then he said it ended up being just a quick cash grab. And then he reminded everybody, don't trust the wrestling industry.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh, you do it once. Do it once. You can do it again anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just wait about, 2 years and evidently you expect the fan base to forget, shit. They have no long-term memory.
Dude, they expect you to forget what happened last week.
True. They expect you to forget what happened last segment. I'm talking about.
Constant exposition. Fucking Jesus.
The rest of SmackDown was whatever. Gulak got smacked by the Nazi General Gunther, who I don't want to see on my television anymore. And then we have another Usos fucking RK Bro. We've been seeing a lot of those lately.
Yeah. I feel like the last 3 months.
Randy tells Roman that no matter what he does, that he'll never be John Cena.
Damn. The ultimate insult.
And which is pretty. I know Cena and Roman had their actual beef a while back, where Cena kind of shut him down on the mic for 3 years.
Yeah, he fucking put him to shame.
He put a big old pause button on that career in one promo.
Reminds me of the time that The Rock killed Billy Gunn's singles push in one promo.
Yeah, and he had to be Mr. Ass. Wasn't it? That was him, huh?
Yeah.
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 He had to he changed his whole gimmick back to Mr. Ass.
Yeah, he killed his singles run. He killed his main event push in one freaking promo.
Yeah, they used to be savage back then. But yeah, that's Riddle fucking started thinking about what he likes to do before he goes to bed.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling them, he's like, you know what I like to do before I go to bed? So I get in bed and I turn the lights off and like I pull the covers up high, and he was like making it sound like he fucking jerks off. And he's then RKO Randy stops him, and he's like, nah, man. He's like, dude, stop. It's PG. And he's like, what did you think I was talking about, man? I think about the tag team unification. Oh, man.
Well, at least he incorporated
So
the 420 just smoked your ass catchphrase. Like, it's now permanent.
It's fucking so... It's growing on me, though. Like, it's so sad that, like, they're starting to grow on me just before, like, they could break up at any day.
I know. It's the best thing they have going right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, that show ends with...
Which is enough to tell you that they're going to destroy it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'll set it on fire.
This show ends with Riddle...
Hell, they might set Riddle on fire.
Now that Brandy's there. Fucking,
that's what's good. Fucking Cody's going to be the one the catalyst that splits them up.
Ugh.
Somebody's going to catch fire.
But yeah, that was... it ends with Riddle jumping up and surprising Roman with a knee to the head. And they fought again.
Yay.
Yeah, so that was how it fucking faded out. It's alright, but shit's been going on for like a while now. It's been
it's on autopilot.
It's like the same thing every show. And they're showing it on Raw.
Yeah.
They're showing it on Raw and SmackDown. So
You got at least 2 more pay-per-views of it. Oh, sorry, premium live events.
Thank you.
More than likely, they're probably going to wait and do
Good
that
job.
shit at SummerSlam.
Fun stuff.
So then we got Raw.
Which with
I too got Raw.
with my beautiful, amazing, stupendous opening cage match
Yep.
between Lashley and Omos. That, you know, if you're doing everything you possibly can to delegitimize Omos, you have succeeded in this one fucking match.
The thing is like, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. Like, how do you take a guy who's 7'3", who legitimately could kill you, and you gotten to the point now where you throw him in a match with Lashley in a fucking steel cage, and you still have MVP running interference, poking his pimp cane through the fucking chain links, and you got Cedric jumping into the cage to, like, you know, you still got a 3-on-1 situation on poor, you know, little tiny Bobby Lashley, and you're just, what do you do at Omos at this point? Like, this is a guy who should be destroying people with no help whatsoever. Like, none.
Yep.
And it's driving me nuts. But either way, long story short, after all the interference and all that stupid shit, Omos basically just threw Lashley through the cage, and the cage wall fell down, and Lashley like, oh, I'm out the cage. Haha, I win. So now you've made him look stupid, too.
They
They
had Lashley climbing up the corner at one point, and he's kicking down on Omos, and it's like the softest little fucking kicks. It's like they're so soft. It's like when you scratch a dog just the right way, and their leg starts going. They were the worst, and he's kicking down on Omos, this 7'4" Nigerian giant, whatever the fuck.
No, that's what he is.
And Corey Graves is...
Oh, I know.
And Corey Graves...
I'm looking at the website, and it says that the Nigerian giant looks to end the almighty era.
Yeah, he ain't ending shit.
So yeah, Corey Graves is sitting there going, "Oh my god, these vicious kicks from Bobby Lashley."
Yeah,
like, oh my god, the cage,
Vicious.
the cage is good for these guys because it hides a lot of imperfections.
For sure.
And that's Omos. Omos is full of imperfections. So it makes somebody like that look a lot better. So I understand this type of match in that situation, but it was whatever.
But again, you've got a guy that you're billing as a giant who still needs help from two other people, one of who is a jobber and the other who is basically a manager, and you still can't get the job done on one guy, which I know Bobby's built like a freaking house, but yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't understand the booking decision.
All that interference too. Speaking of jobber, that's Cedric Alexander. When he comes out to interfere to make sure Lashley can't climb over, he climbs up the cage, gets up to the top, and starts kicking him. And Lashley reaches up and grabs him and throws him from the top of the cage straight down for a back bump in the middle of the ring.
Dude,
so
Cedric looked like he didn't want to take that bump, and that bump almost looked really bad.
I'm saying, like, how do you have this guy that you've just done nothing but squash? You just keep him on the roster, basically. And you're going to bring him in to give him these kind of fucking bumps for a match that is already over-gimmicked.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense to me. Because Cedric's not important enough. It's not like, fucking Scott Hall came out to save Kevin Nash in the cage or something. It gives a fuck about Cedric. Like, that's not... Cedric's not going to get pops from the crowd. So why?
No, Cedric
No, that's why his ass took the bump that he did.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, why make anybody in your company take that bump? It doesn't add anything to the match. We already know how strong Bobby Lashley is. We know he can pull a 170-pound man.
Because if it wasn't Cedric, it'd be Vince. Like, you want to take this bump? I'll take this bump. And throw himself off the fucking cage.
Let me show you how it's done.
Yeah. And then on the way out, you go, okay, cool, thanks, boss. You walk out, and as soon as you walk out the office, John Laurinaitis is like, well, let me tell you something. He's not going to take that bump. I'm going to take him back. We're going to have a steak dinner. I'm going to distract him. You're taking that fucking bump. All because Vince can't think right anymore. Dude can't even take a stunner. I was taking stunners at 8.
In the end, I just wonder, is like, these dudes are really big. Why aren't they all just trying to throw themselves out the cage just to win like that? Just fucking blow down the fucking fence of the cage.
Yeah, and to waste that type of ending on, like, a feud that don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
That looks, again, that it's far from over.
That's a pay-per-view ending for, like, the middle match of of two major stars. Like, you don't waste that on Lashley and Omos. You do that on Lashley and Brock.
And then you make it your opening match for your show.
You make it Lashley and Roman. Like, McIntyre and Roman.
I mean,
like, do it for them.
Yeah. I would think putting it on the opening of your show, like, since really especially for them, the big money comes with the TV deals. You want the big stuff to be on the show, but I don't know. I would think you would want this to be the blow off with the cage match.
They've had a little bit of dip in their ratings.
Just set it to open.
The past few weeks. All the companies have, really, but WWE, they dipped under 2 million or whatever the fuck. This might have been just a way, we're going to have a cage match to open Raw.
Yeah.
Get everybody to be like, oh, hell yeah, I want to see a cage match. But god damn it. That's the pay-per-view type match with a pay-per-view type ending with a fucking mid-card. Not even a mid-card.
Lower mid-card.
A lower mid-card big man that's, in the end, you're just going to bring out to have people run over to make them look strong.
Well, that's okay, because the train wreck doesn't get any better, because after that, you got just Theory, and Rocky's favorite, Mustafa Ali.
Damn it.
Who, is getting so much TV time now, and squashed every week. Yay.
All right.
This hurts.
It does hurt.
I hate it. It sucks because
before you go into the...
I like Miz.
Can you imagine if he didn't get hurt and fucking Kofi Mania didn't happen? Because that was supposed to be fucking Ali's spot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was.
Can you imagine if that fucking happened? Instead, like, I don't know, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, well,
I really liked Ali. I don't know.
I mean, the guy's really talented, and now he's getting squashed by, Veer Mahan, and, Miz is involved, and Theory, and all this other bullshit, but then I read an article that basically quoted Ali as saying he wants to be on more pay-per-view matches, and I'm going, well, if you were going to, you're not anymore because you opened up your trap.
Opened up your trap.
Yeah. You don't come out and say what you want, because then they do the exact fucking opposite.
Yeah, well, they're going to do whatever's in their best interest anyway, because they're assholes, and they're a company.
Yeah. So. Well, he got squashed, so...
Yeah.
That was about as much as I could say about that.
But compare these first two segments. Fucking, you have almost we complained already about the cage match and who they used it for and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the very next segment where you have Theory, you have Ali, who the fans love, and you have fucking Miz, who's a standalone star for WWE. He's probably one of the biggest name as far as the men go. And he's the best, gimmick. He's ran for fucking how long? Veteran.
Give the man his due, for sure.
Why is Omos doing this with Lashley? Make it Lashley and Miz. Make it Lashley and fucking... Who else comes out? They've been having Ciampa wasted with this bullshit.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
It doesn't make sense to me. You should... the Mysterios came out. That's who else came out.
That's right. They're the ones that made the save.
The Mysterios make the save at the end. You have Rey Mysterio in this segment, too. But you have Lashley and Omos in a cage. With a pay-per-view ending. Or a small pay-per-view ending. It just doesn't make sense.
It's because,
put Mysterio against Lashley. I'm tired of this. Who's the big strongman shit?
I mean, I don't know. My opinion is that it's just Vince looking at two big old dudes that he just fucking loves the big dudes.
It's the wet dream, man.
That's all he said. That's all he sees.
He wants his Hulk and Andre fucking camera shot again, which he'll never get back.
No.
But yeah. Yeah.
So they continue to kill Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Riddle, Jimmy Uso. Riddle has Giraffe.
Oh, yay, this again?
Riddle, yep. There was a one-on-one this time. Riddle wins. Giraffes came out of his feet.
That's right. Giraffes were this.
Nice.
That's right.
And it was the same wrestling you've seen.
I've never had.
Month and a half. Then we have Edge come out and he threw some shade at the guys who went on to AEW. He did his little promo, and he was telling everyone that they need to open their eyes or whatever. And he used to be just like them until one day he opened his eyes and he looked around the locker room, and he had broken bones from ladder matches and all these extreme matches, and he stayed. And he's still around, and he looks around the locker room, and none of those people who he was with are around anymore. And he realized that he's like the big shit or fucking whatever, and he needed to take things seriously. So he threw a little shade at the people, I guess, who left, at the Hardys, Dudleys, Christian.
The Judgment Day.
But yeah, it's just more Judgment Day.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, that was like the opening little promo deal before they came out with AJ and Finn versus Los Lotharios.
Los Lotharios.
Yeah, literally all I wrote was Finn wins because whatever.
Well, that was basically it.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, for as far as the match goes, what should have been probably not as a competitive of a match. The Los Lotharios looked entirely too good.
Yeah.
Like they were booked entirely too strongly in this match for being who they are and what they are.
Yeah.
And, I didn't dislike.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Again, as I've stated before, Liv Morgan joining the Bullet Club is the only thing worth talking about on this segment.
Yeah, Liv was in the back, and when she was doing her little interview, and then they showed up, and they were asking.
Yeah, they're
her,
like, we should team up.
Boy, did anybody wait for the music to be like doom doom doom, the fucking whatever the fucking the Pornhub music? Like as soon as they
that was a lot of like weird like tension.
As soon as they showed up, there. She gave each one. They did one at a time, and she gave them this look like it got all like wiggly, and then looked at Finn and was like, I was like, what?
I'm looking for a tag team.
Oh man! So they're gonna do Rhea with her crew, where she's like all serious and just one of them, and then they're gonna do the other one where it's a fucking 3-way.
But again, like this all goes back to this Rhea Ripley joining the Judgment Day deal, where it's like, okay, you got these two guys who are superstars, obviously they're main event caliber guys, who are going up to little Liv Morgan going, we need your help.
Yeah,
Edge isn't playing fair. And he's got a woman on his team, and we can't do anything about it. We need a woman now.
And it just doesn't make sense. You're losing Charlotte, and you might be losing Naomi and Sasha. We don't know. And now you have two of your other biggest female stars. They're third wheels to a men's tag team.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ. And you have two tag teams that have guys that should be having pretty successful singles careers. Thanks, Vince.
I don't know. Again, looking at the website,
WWE makes
the
me
results.
so mad.
Yeah, but they referred to him as the Prince.
Yes, they have been calling him the Prince for a while now.
Oh,
but
fuck.
It's like you can't put Devitt at the end of it, because then at that point, you're acknowledging something. But again, during the match as a tag team, they fought each other. AJ and Finn have had history with each other all over the world. Blah blah blah, and that's about as far as that description goes.
They've wrestled in WWE all over the world.
They need to start referring. To companies, especially I guess AEW, as like the company that who should not be named.
Yeah,
and every time they gotta say it like that, just to make.
I just think it's just so funny. Like they're Finn's out there, shooting the fingers, and they're too sweet in each other, and they just like crickets. Like nothing about it is acknowledged in any way.
Yeah.
Which we'll bring up.
There's no context for anybody that's just like strictly in the WWE bubble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, they're members of the OC?
Yeah, well, they dropped that shit.
This is?
They dropped that shit real fucking fast.
Oh, man.
The club.
The good old days.
So dumb.
And then it gets dumb. Next segment.
Oh, it gets even worse.
We got DeVille and Bliss in a rematch since the week before. DeVille was fired from being management or whatever the fuck she was. She was basically like Kurt Angle was a few years ago. They put her up against Bliss again, and during the match,
it was a surprisingly competitive match this time. All of a sudden,
yeah, it was competitive because they kept it at about 8 minutes long.
which was 8 minutes too long.
As soon as the match started, they threw up a ticker at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and it said, "The countdown to Cody."
Yes.
And it was 14. It was at 14 and a half. So they're telling you.
Oh, this was the whole show. They had a countdown to Cody ticker the whole show.
They threw it up, telling everyone this match is bullshit. No matter what happens, we're gonna make sure we get Cody on in 14 minutes because we don't care about these two. We had time to fill.
Stick around, Cody's coming back.
The best part about the countdown to Cody was Kevin Owens on Twitter going like ape shit over it.
Yeah.
he's just like constantly posting Twitter like updates going, man, I wonder when Cody's coming on. Does anybody know when Cody's on tonight? Oh, it's about an hour before Cody comes on.
So dumb.
I can't wait to hear what Cody's going to say.
So this is random, but I just had this thought. So they did a thing where he was Kevin Owens missed the show, right? And his brother Ken Owens came by.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is that a thing that happened? So
Yeah.
what if this thing, all this shit is a work, and then Tasha Banks shows up?
Tasha Banks.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what?
And make a mix tag.
Let's just do it. Just have one Raw show where like everyone misses their flights and other like older relatives or younger relatives like take their spot.
Jesus.
Tasha Banks, you heard it here first. I can come up with some bad shit too.
Book it.
Yeah.
All right, well, I did watch the highlight of Ezekiel and Chad Gable. I don't know, man. It looks like
Oh, good. Apparently, KO is still going with the countdown to Cody hashtag.
Oh, nice.
As of 7 hours ago, approximately 358,200 seconds to go.
I say Ezekiel's a little bit better in the ring than Elias was. I'd say that.
I always thought Elias was really good in the ring. Since the first time I saw him, he was one of my favorites for a while. I loved the gimmick when he'd come in and play the guitar. I fucking loved it.
I love the gimmick. Was into the gimmick, but then when the few times they actually did put him in a ring, I just felt like he wasn't anything that stood out.
I kind of feel the same way with him as I do with Baron Corbin. Corbin's, especially for his size, he's pretty good in the ring. I wouldn't say, he's one of the best, but he works really, really well. He's decent on the mic. And I think Elias kind of like matches up with him. Elias is a little more athletic.
Ezekiel.
And I said, well, we're talking about Elias mostly, yeah. But as we said a couple weeks ago, as I was about to get into, is the Ezekiel gimmick is actually making Elias like look really good in the ring, like a lot better in the ring. I don't know if
not a
maybe
gimmick.
His time away for a little bit, like he worked on some things that like
it's not a gimmick. That's not Elias.
So I said at the beginning, Ezekiel is a little bit better in the ring than Elias.
Well, he's younger. He's younger.
We need Ezekiel and Elias versus Stardust and Cody Rhodes.
Jesus.
Book it. Book it.
Book it.
It's a gauntlet match. The faces of Foley versus Ezekiel, Elias, and everyone else who has multiple gimmicks.
Oh, man.
3 stages of Cody.
Byron Saxton on this Gable Ezekiel match. They're arguing about if it's Ezekiel or Elias. And every time somebody says Ezekiel, KO was like, Elias.
Yeah.
Elias.
Yeah.
And Byron gets confused, and I think he did actually accidentally say it, but Elias got him in a hold, and he goes, "Oh, that's a good job by Elias." And KO was like, "Thank you." And then he was like, "Oh, I mean Ezekiel. I'm sorry." He's like, no! And he like,
no!
At some point, it's like during the highlight that I watched, KO had said something like, it's like, oh yeah, I don't expect that from you. I don't expect the truth from you. You said last week that Cody hadn't wrestled in 6 years. Corey
that sounds right.
Corey had to come out and whatever. It's like that's fucking amazing. Yes.
Again, Kevin Owens is like one of the bright spots of the product.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care that he's not in a main event. I don't care that he's not holding a title. I don't care that he has a match like once every 5 weeks. Like, just the fact that he's out there and he's golden on the mic is enough for me at this point.
Man, and I mean, for me, looking at him, it's like, even as a heel, it's just like, man, it's like, he looks like me. And he's fucking, look at him. Look at his success. Like, that's awesome.
That's right.
That's one thing I like
Russell's
about
in a t-shirt.
One thing I like about KO is he's funny. It's funny, like people pissing him off. It's hilarious. But he, you remember like all of his matches.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't get all blended in like a lot of these guys that do the same match every week. You like years down the line, you can still think back and like think, oh yeah, I remember KO jumped off a 20-foot ladder on, Shane. And like, you remember the shit that he did because they don't fucking overexpose him in the ring. So like, you're satisfied every time you finally see him like get super mad and get thrown in the ring with somebody.
I guess that's maybe what it is, yeah, like, because you don't see him wrestle every single week, so you don't see him wrestle the same guy every single week.
It's almost, and that's kind of where I guess it differs with Sami Zayn, is they throw Sami Zayn out there like every week to get his ass beat.
Right.
It's like we get it. Sami Zayn's the whipping boy, whereas KO comes out and he may get a cheap slap in, or somebody may get one cheap hit in on him, but most of the time it's like him just talking shit and being a dickbag.
And he's a guy that you can put at any point on the card. Like, if you need to slot somebody in a main event or put in a main event feud for a month,
you could put him in a feud.
He's your guy
with Roman, Drew McIntyre.
Oh yeah,
like you can put him against those big guys. People will watch. Like KO is one of those guys. I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel that way with Miz, and
I just love I love that every year since he's been on WrestleMania, every shirt change. The shirt changes every WrestleMania. I think he's on like KO Mania 5, I think at this point, or 6.
Yeah,
nice.
I love those shirts.
And I think he must have got a little lazy this year because it was just basically like the promo shot. I think it was that year. I think it was Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage, maybe, or Warrior Hulk, and basically just like taped on like a picture of his head or something, and his opponent. It's pretty good.
Good shit.
But yeah, that wraps that up. Ezekiel wins.
Of course he does.
He had to win there.
He's Ezekiel.
We have Truth being creepy. He's serving the
dude. Was he? He was super fucking creepy.
He's serving the divorce papers to
Tozawa,
Tamina, and Tozawa.
Oh god!
And like, he's like having Tamina like follow him, and she's like, "Where are we going? Where are we going?" He's like, to catch a Tozawa, you got to think like a Tozawa." And he's like, hurries up and opens up a trash can real quick and like throws the papers in. And he like does a little countdown, and as soon as he gets to 1, Tozawa like pops out the trash can with the papers. He's like, "No!"
He's so stupid.
Yeah, and then Tamina picks him up, and they run off.
And then he gets real creepy with Dana Brooke.
Yeah, Dana Brooke comes out with the 24/7 belt, and he starts, "I want my belt. I want my belt, Dana. Give me my belt. Give it to me. Give it to me, Dana. Give it to me." And he's like leaning in real close to her. Oh my goodness. I got uncomfortable.
It was a little
It
uncomfortable.
was a very sexual episode for WWE after the Liv fuck me eyes.
Yeah, that was...
And then this, and then was it last week or the week before? Heyman told
Heyman and probably
in the back. He was like, "Are you
Kayla Braxton?
Yeah, are you flirting with me?" It's like, God damn it! Like, quit.
You know, it's that push to that edgier content that they want.
God damn it!
Get out of the PG era.
So bad. I don't even know if that's PG. So yeah, that
They gotta have a little bit of horny in it.
Well, you know.
and then they had some bullshit going on. Them they always go back to their outside bullshit. Corey apparently said some fucked up shit about Dana Brooke recently.
Yeah, they threw shade at each other.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And Dana confronts Mela in the back, and they start talking shit and about the 24/7 belt and everything else. And Dana tells her,
I didn't catch what Dana said.
Dana
like,
told
what did
her,
she say?
Told her, I know your man has a big mouth, but you need to not take after him or some shit. And everybody was like, "Ooh, ooh." It was like I had to look up what was going on. Stupid.
Well, you know.
What, they didn't give you fucking 3 minutes of exposition on what was going on?
No, not for that. They only do that when they explain match types.
I'm waiting for one of them to call out their affair.
Oh, it'll happen.
It better.
It'll happen. Just not the right time yet.
Yeah,
They haven't come up with the right story
not
yet.
until they're ready to feature Endeavor or him.
Not until... Yeah. They're gonna fucking pair Mustafa Ali with a wife and then just go all out.
It's only a matter of time before we have Excalibur and Corey Graves on AEW.
Oh God! Get Corey Graves off my TV. Like he needs to just
Shivani. Oh man, it's gonna be great.
Oh no!
Officer Barbrady.
Nope, I'll fucking stop watching immediately.
Nothing to see here. So yeah, we get past that. That was nothing. Lacey Evans.
Then you got your main event.
Don't care. Becky and Asuka. Main event.
Which was
okay.
Put together very hastily.
Yeah. Yeah, they know each other, so it was easy to do, I guess.
Yeah, but that match wasn't even supposed to happen because
it was all right. I guess on the fly they were like, we need to throw this match out. So after them doing their routine shit, it looked all right. Nothing spectacular. Asuka spit Becky with the green mist and blinded her in the middle of the ring. So
nice.
So it was kind of a. You can tell there wasn't much to it. Like they did probably just say they were going to call it in the ring.
Well, you had no chance to prepare.
Yeah. The big news of the week.
The most professional wrestlers. That's what they are.
The most professionals.
I mean, fucking, they really are. Those two. Which is a shame. Asuka is now just going to be a stepping stone to pay-per-views when they need somebody to look tough.
Pretty much.
But yeah, they. It was the match. Big news of the week. That match was supposed to be with Naomi and Sasha, but like we talked about before we started recording, how interesting all that is with whether it's a work or whether or not they're actually having issues. I don't know if anybody really knows.
I don't know. I mean, the more I read on it and the more comes to light, I'm inclined to believe that it's not a work. At least, if they smooth things over. But,
I think, to me, the WWE statement kind of, to me, makes it seem like it's not a work.
Who are they supposed to wrestle?
It was supposed to be Sasha and Naomi versus Doudrop and Nikki Ash
Jesus fucking
versus
Asuka and Becky. It was the match that they had set up for the main event. And evidently, story goes, the finish was supposed to be Naomi winning and getting the match against Bianca at the next pay-per-view and losing. So Sasha, I guess, didn't like that idea because they have no plans for them to defend the tag team titles.
That makes the tag team
plus
weak. Right. And that's the thing. They were going to feed Naomi to Bianca,
and then they were going to feed Sasha to
Ronda.
Oh,
right.
Jesus Christ.
And the plan evidently wasn't to have the tag team belts featured prominently until like SummerSlam or something. And so Sasha just, which if true, I'll stand behind her on it going, dude, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
you are making us look bad. Like, you're making the belts seem even more irrelevant than they already are.
I'd walk out. It's fucking, oh my God.
She went into Vince's office, basically gave him a piece of her mind to try to get him to change the match or the finish, and he wouldn't. So they go up to Laurinaitis' office, throw the tag team belts on his desk, and peaced out.
Now, I'll say, so I listened to Cornette's review of this. No, and to be honest, let's say what his opinion was, but they went, I don't know where they got the account from, but they pretty much, it was from one of the people that reported it, Sean Rossap or one of the other guys that was reporting on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they had talked to Vince, said this is and agreed on a change to the match so they as the tag champions wouldn't look so weak. Got to the producers or whatever, and that's where shit broke apart. And they went to the producer called her spoiled, or so-and-so. People called her spoiled and shit like that. And then they were supposed to meet back up with Vince, but that meet never happened, or something never happened, and then just they got fed up with it, getting to run around, and then dropped the titles on his desk and said, I'm out of here. On Laurinaitis' desk.
Yeah, peace out, yo.
What do you guys think you're doing?
I said, if
people power.
If it turns out that's the way that everything happened, I don't blame them one bit. I mean, as much as I love the Iconics winning the fucking belts when they did on that WrestleMania, I feel like even then, that title run was kind of, I don't know. They made those belts. They did. And I know they pushed for those belts before they were revealed.
Yeah.
Her and Bayley. Sasha and Bayley.
Right.
So,
no, so they
made it work.
It's near and dear to her, heart.
Yeah.
She's been a big advocate for him for a long time. So I can understand the frustration. I don't know. I guess on my end, being my own thought process, I probably wouldn't have walked out, but what do you do in a heat of the moment situation, I guess?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what other recourse they have. What other way to, I don't say protest, but just to put your foot down. Because, I mean, they have all these restrictions on you, right? You can't do this, you can't do this.
Right.
You're our person. You must follow the booking and whatever. And if you can get an ear with Vince and have him and convince him, then maybe you have a chance of getting whatever you want changed. But not many people have that pull.
Yeah.
No.
So what else are you going to do? But they could be in a situation where WWE decides to, well, you're not on TV, then we're just going to extend your contract until you come back and you work your full contract.
Yeah.
Which they've done plenty of times in the past.
So, I don't know.
And then again,
Sounds like
you don't... You figure Sasha probably won't have any repercussions from the whole thing because of who she is and who she's, related to, and how she's got the crossover appeal.
Yeah.
But what do you do with Naomi? I guess if you smooth it over and everything, becomes all happy, I guess that's a perfect way to segue that into storyline and put her into the bloodline, which they've been thinking about doing for a while anyway.
That's the hot thing right now, is add a woman to your clique.
Yeah, well, they've been thinking about that for a while.
Once they have their mind on something, boy, they stick to that for a few weeks.
Not only that, but it's fucking overkill.
Yeah.
They're going to change the whole meaning of the tag team type name. It's no longer two. It's like a tag team outside of wrestling.
Remember when they had that rule
girl.
where one person from each show could go to the other show once a week?
What they call it? The wild card or Joker or something?
Yeah,
the wild
much
card
simpler
rule.
times.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. WWE's a mess.
And then it was like before that they had the rule where if you could only go between shows if you were champion.
Yeah. Christ.
But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what the resolution is to this whole Sasha Naomi thing. But
I was just gonna ask, because did we talk about Cody? Did anything happen with him?
Cody came out and
he came.
did a promo.
Yeah, no. Other than he came out and cut a promo, basically demanding to have the Hell in a Cell match. Other than that,
Yeah.
not really.
Okay.
That was what the whole countdown to Cody thing was about. Just a 20-minute promo.
Seth came out on the.
course.
Seth came up on the big screen.
The man loves to talk.
Yeah.
And he still gets the fucking grand entrance. Comes out of the freaking ramp with pyro and, just to cut a promo.
Because, it looks and sounds so much better on WWE's telecast.
For sure.
It did at AEW.
Well, they have
You've
so
got
much,
serious
so many
production
screens.
values at that point. Yeah.
It's made me, he may be one of my, top 2-3 favorite entrances right now. That song comes on. Y'all know I'm mad at Cody.
Yeah, but that song,
understand what he's
once-
doing, but that song gets me pumped.
It was so funny because I liked the song, but I never actually read or listened to the lyrics until fairly recently. And I'm going,
Yesterday
dude, what
for
the
me.
fuck? Like, this is absolutely custom made for Cody.
Yeah.
Dude, that was me yesterday. I was like, for some reason, thinking about Cody Rhodes because I think I was looking up some stuff on him. And yeah, I was like, I never actually listened to this song. And it's like, that's why all the people on Reddit were making adrenaline in my soul jokes. Like, whenever he was fucking, but yeah, it's like all about Dusty and
It's all about
holy
him.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. When that revel, I don't know if I was like driving to work at one morning or something and I was jamming out to it and I go, wait a minute. Let me listen to this a little more carefully. But no, I agree. He's got one of the better entrances. And that's because it's just so different from everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like everybody else, theme plays, you get the superimposed graphic and they come out and they do the little pose and they walk out. But his is like a whole like grand production that nobody else has.
Yeah, it's like an emotion.
He gets a pay-per-view entrance every week.
It's like an emotional type.
It's like Vince.
Deal.
This is in my contract, man. You
Ted,
want me?
Dude,
You're bringing me. You're bringing everything.
He's like,
about
you are legitimately bringing everything. You have no choice. And they fucking gave it to him.
Yes, I need the elevator. Yes.
How else am I going to get up there?
And as much as
I got bad knees.
as much as I've been praising him before we wrap up WWE, I just want to say fuck Cody.
You know what? I mean, I'm obviously still very much on the fence on his WWE career, his second go around, because he's done basically next to nothing other than have one feud up to this point. So I'm curious to see how quickly this turns into a train wreck.
I'm not as mad at him anymore, I guess, now that I know that Moxley makes $6 million a year for AEW.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
Cody was making $3.
I guess I'd be a little pissed too.
Think about that. Moxley? Come on. I like Moxley, but come on.
Well,
yeah.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you have. Well,
come on.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Moxley was their second champion, man. Moxley. I mean,
well, see, and that was the other thing too. Is I think that they were paying these guys gobs of money to get him over to begin with in the early days. That's just part of having, former WWE superstar in front of your name.
Dude, I'll say, like, he left WWE, and I don't know, it was like, I didn't really care much about Dean Ambrose at all. Very little.
I liked him. Out of every Shield member, he was my favorite, but that's because he was so different from the rest.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think his matches started to get a little stale towards the end, but I think that was more him just being like, I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
And I'm just going through the motions.
I missed all of that. Like, I missed all of that. I saw him when he came back for the first time, pretty much, when he came back from his injury before he left.
Yeah.
Like when he came out all fucking jacked and with a haircut. And
yeah.
That's when I first saw him. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. It's cool that he's back. I don't know much about him, but I think I saw his match with AJ and maybe a couple other matches, or some of his matches with AJ.
I mean, he was a guy that I didn't think they were ever going to put the world title on, and they did. And he had a pretty decent run until they fed him to Brock.
But, dude, he left WWE and did the G1 in New Japan. And I was like, holy shit. And, like, I mean, he blew, like, as far as, like, having critically acclaimed matches and shit. G1.
Again, creatively, he was held down because he couldn't do the style of match that he's really comfortable with.
Yeah.
And, I started noticing that his matches were all kind of running the same way as everybody else, where, like, he always had to do that stupid fucking clothesline where he gets whipped into the when he gets whipped into the ropes and it looks like he's going to go out of the ring and he like slingshots himself back in and does a clothesline. And I'm going, every single match has this. But then I realized, well, everybody else is exactly the same. John Cena had to do his 5 moves of doom. Roman Reigns is contractually obligated to do a Superman punch. Randy Orton is contractually obligated to do the middle rope DDT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all told, and then I read into it, and basically they're all told, like, you have your signature moves that you are basically required to pull off in every match. And I'm going, well, that's fucking dumb, because now you're limited in what you can and can't do.
Yeah. And I say he had that G1 run and Double or Nothing, the first Double or Nothing, right? That's when he debuted. So, and at that point, like, I mean, the AEW fan base is a fan base that it's not it's not really a casual fan base. It's a fan base that has other interests in wrestling.
It's a hardcore fan base.
Yeah. So, but when he debuted, man, like, he debuted like he was the biggest star on the planet, And I feel like his championship run in AEW during the pandemic was fucking
great.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like the beginning of the pandemic, those shows were hard to watch without fucking a crowd and stuff like
Just
that.
like the Dark Order out
Until
there clapping.
Fucking Austin Gunn. Fucking Austin Gunn putting the whole crowd on his shoulders. But, you know, but yeah, like, dude, he had a hell of a run as champion. And then there was
exploding barbed wire death match, you know, not to be mentioned.
Jesus.
The one hiccup.
And then, you know, Eddie Kingston with the fucking save of all saves. Yeah, I had PTSD. What? Because of some shit that I've been through in my life. What? Like, okay, well, shit, well, you sold it to me. You were convincing as hell.
Dude, fucking sold it. Committed.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Fucking, man, I love Moxley. Since he left WWE.
I do, but fucking $6 million. Next highest is Chris Jericho at 3.
Yeah, but Chris doesn't need the money.
Yeah, but also that's like
Omega.
They were the first signees.
Omega's 3. Cody was 3. Brandy's 2. Nyla Rose, $2 million a year. She makes $1 million less than Cody. Moxley was making $3 million more than Cody.
Yeah, but you got to think about this. So, like, I mean, by the time he signed with AEW, they had already been established, and he had, like I said, he went to Japan and made a name for himself before. I mean, obviously knew he was a star at WWE, and like, from what I understand, he like had one of the longest runs as far as just constant shows, like never missing a show, and. I don't know.
But what kind of money was he looking for? He want more than Moxley? And what did he get?
What, to
Cody
to leave to come back?
What did WWE give him? 3.5?
I don't know what they gave him, but I honestly don't think it's the money for him.
No.
I truly believe what he says, that it's about.
He wanted the big show.
He wants the big show. He wants the big belt. He wants to do what Dusty could never do.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Cody. But but while we're on it, we'll just bring up also that Pac makes $2 million a year as well.
That bastard.
I wonder, like, do they have guaranteed contracts?
Yes.
I'm sure they do.
They do.
I think everybody does nowadays.
That's the new hotness these days is guaranteed contracts, which is terrible business.
Thank you, Eric.
Them.
Thank you, Eric Bischoff.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that wraps up WWE. Let's get on to AEW.
Thank fucking Jesus.
First up, we got Dynamite. I think it was on the 11th.
Yes.
It was in Long Island. And home of MJF.
That's right. The home of babyface MJF.
Fucking shit stain MJF.
And we had Martha Hart, Dr. Martha Hart, in attendance. Owen's wife.
What? No. They didn't show her on camera, did they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they
did. Up
did.
in the specialty box.
They did.
Yeah, I know that was sarcasm.
Oh.
They only showed it like 18 fucking times through the telecast.
And we're going to get through...
Couple of hours.
And we're going to talk. We're going to get around to talking about her more later in a little bit, because that was a train wreck. But to start the show, we had Dax versus Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby.
This was for what was it? The quarterfinal or semifinal?
Yes,
quarterfinal.
Quarterfinal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a good match. Two good wrestlers. Dax was one of the best. They didn't really get very fancy. I think the match only went like 9-10 minutes.
I did like the little detail from Adam Cole when he was in the corner, tapping his foot. Like Shawn Michaels, guy that he is. The masturbatory Shawn Michaels match here.
Fucking Tony Schiavone. He goes, Dax gets thrown into the corner, and he hits the corner really hard with his chest and sells the shit out of it.
He took a Bret Hart bump.
Tony Schiavone goes, we haven't seen somebody take a chest to the rope like that since Bret Hart.
Yep. It's true.
What? Like, you're like underselling the whole fucking show right there by saying that one of the greatest wrestlers of all time pretended he was getting hit really hard back in the 90s. Like,
well, that not to get pretentious with the whole fucking thing, but that was something that Bret pretty much exclusively did, and he did it for that exact reason. He's like, it's way more realistic to get whipped into the corner and hit chest first than it is to turn at the last minute.
Yeah.
Right.
And go back first. And he's like, every time I did it, I tried to make it look like it fucking hurt like hell.
Yeah.
So that statement is accurate.
It's accurate, but it's just a weird thing to say, because it's supposed to be something you want to sell the person who threw that person that hard. You don't want to...
Not the person who took the bump.
Yeah, you don't want to sell this person as being like, oh man, he's impressive at pretending he got hit really hard. Like, what? That's not commentary.
And see, he got like...
This is why I need Mike Tenay back on the commentaries.
Yeah.
I mean, so that fucking promo from Hangman just sticks in my head. But fucking masturbatory Bret Hart matches. What the fuck? Like, I get it.
We're getting a lot of Bret Hart references, okay? And I'm okay with it.
It's the Owen. Let's do let's do Owen stuff. Let's do Owen stuff. Especially, Bret Hart just signed a contract with WWE, so fuck Bret Hart.
You know what? No one's actually confirmed that, okay?
That's okay.
As far as I'm concerned, that's still a rumor.
I don't mean that, Bret Hart. Don't shoot on me.
We've been mentioning him a lot.
Although, no, shoot on me.
No,
please. Shoot on me.
I need
that platform.
I need the platform. And
I am just as good in the ring as Goldberg.
Well, so are a lot of other people.
All right. So,
Oldberg.
So yeah, next.
But yeah, so Adam Cole wins.
Yeah, Cole won. Whatever. Boo. And we get CM Punk.
I was hoping that mustache would stick around a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am happy to see that fucking no one else from the Undisputed Elite is out ringside for any of these matches.
Yeah.
Which is surprising, but yes, refreshing.
Don't worry, they have plenty of other times to come out and fuck shit up.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
We may even be talking about them soon. But yeah, next up we had CM Punk versus John Silver,
which I did not see.
It was all right. They just wanted to get somebody out there, Adam Page was on commentary. They had a good sign. Page drinks Diamond Dogs. Page drinks Diamond Dogs. A Diamond Dog is a low alcohol drink with lime, bitters, and orange juice.
Nice.
So, after a little research, I got on the Googler, and I typed that in. And, turns out it was actually kind of funny song.
Diamond Dogs is a different reference for me, so that's a bit weird.
Yeah, your brain went, totally... Your brain went to the Gamecast.
Yeah. We are Diamond Dogs.
So this match was great because it was in Long Island. Not the match, but the entrance. CM Punk came out because obviously he's going to be a heel in Long Island thanks to MJF. He comes out in a New York Islanders jersey. The person's jersey who he wore was the captain of the team, Tavares, who left a few years back to go to Toronto. And
nice.
The fans still have not gotten over it because he was fully committed to the team and everything, and then went to Toronto. They're still not over it. So it was it was a good heel move.
It's a good dig.
Because MJF also came out in an Islanders gear or jersey. But it was funny for Punk to do it, but to make sure he wore that guy's jersey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Meanwhile, MJF's jersey, I think, actually had MJF on the back of it. So.
Yeah.
Probably. So, yeah, that was CM Punk won. I mean, he did a buckshot lariat after staring down Adam Page. And it
was on commentary.
And won the match. Which
the Punk shot lariat.
Yeah.
It was not good. It was not executed well. I'm going to have to knock him a point.
Yeah, Adam
ratings.
Still does it a little better.
I personally hate that move as a finisher. It's just as bad as the phenomenal forearm because the setup is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
There was a guy that got a elbow over as a finishing move.
Jesus
so,
Christ.
and he wasn't even jumping from the top rope. He was just running the ropes. So,
Talking about Chris Jericho?
talking about The Rock, the people's elbow.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, but that was after a rock bottom, so that's totally different.
I'm talking about this.
In the context, it makes
This
sense.
spin and punch that fucking Jericho does now.
Ugh, the Judas effect.
Yeah, that thing. That's fun.
And
He should have just stuck with the code breaker and just left it at that.
Yeah.
Bring back the walls of Jericho.
I'm down. But yeah,
for sure.
get on from that. CM Punk, every match with him is good, but it was just a filler match. Next, we got Danhausen, very nice and very evil.
Making his in-ring debut.
In-ring debut versus Tony Nese.
It's a 30-second match, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a
take.
bit weird. I guess they were running low on time. I don't know what. They didn't give Nese an intro. It was all Danhausen. So you kind of thought like something was going to happen. Danhausen was going to curse him, win the match real quick. But it didn't really happen that way. JR was on commentary, not selling the match at all. He's like, what is this? I don't understand what's going on.
That's because JR.
Oh, God. But yeah, it was just a quick, Nese beat the shit out of Danhausen. Put him in the corner, threw a knee in his face a few times. It was all just a setup hook coming out.
It was all worth it because now you have the formation of Hookhausen.
Yep.
Hell
Hook
yeah.
shook his hand, and now we have Hookhausen.
Send Hookhausen.
Yeah.
The merchandise sells itself.
I'm so interested, yet scared to see what happens with this.
Definitely, I don't know. First thing I immediately thought was just, yes, let's do this. Let's do the Rock and Sock connection.
This is
kind of what it feels like.
There's nothing to be scared about. This leads to a world tag team title run.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else to go with this.
I can see it. I can see Danhausen holding those titles.
This is what leads to. That's the team that Jurassic Express is going to drop the belts to, and that's what's going to lead to the Jungle Boy Christian feud. I'm calling it now.
Christian loses it for him.
Either that or they're going to come out with FTW tag team belts.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Danhausen. Look, seems like the best friends are falling apart. So, maybe they need somebody on Team Taz that can deliver curses.
Well, true.
Hey, I can book bad. I said this earlier. I can book bad shit too.
They'll cut the music.
No matter what you do, anything involving Danhausen at this point is just fucking ridiculous.
Danhausen will start introducing the Jericho Appreciation Society. They are very nice and they are very evil.
You see, I think of Danhausen. I I think of Orange Cassidy and one of those fucking, was it like the Butcher and Blade versus Young Bucks? Where they fucking pop into a bathroom and he's just sitting there randomly. Orange Cassidy. And then they close the door and just go on and that's it. That's all you see him. It's like, of course. There he is.
Makes sense.
Alright. So yeah, after that we got the big MJF Wardlow contract signing.
God, man. This MJF seems to never fail with his shit. Never.
No.
Pay him the big fucking money, man.
Yeah,
I just love how every week his spray tan is getting more and more ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't really notice. I guess I haven't noticed it, a weekly thing. But looking at it this week, I was like, holy shit, man. He's really gotten dark.
He's gotten dark up to his wrists.
Yeah.
And the palms of his hands and the palms of his hands, his wrists, and like his forehead, and that was it. And I wasn't even the one that noticed it. Somebody else pointed out for me or to me, and I'm going, "Oh shit, you're fucking right."
Yeah, they this entrance was fucking hilarious. They did a Dark Side of the Ring fake vignette for MJF, making MJF look like the victim in this whole Wardlow CM Punk feud. It was
and look, it's coming from MJF's consigliere, Taz. So look, I believe Taz.
Taz starts crying. He's like, you should have seen it. He came. I can't talk about it right now. Like, come on, Taz.
I died. I said MJF's consigliere. I was like, oh my god.
Oh man.
I was like, this is fucking amazing.
So good. They brought out Barry Horowitz, the legendary Jewish wrestler. They made sure.
Yes, the legendary Jewish wrestler.
He came out and he was like, he said, I want to get one thing straight. Sean Dean is a jobber. Okay.
Oh man,
so bad.
Shit. Yeah, they give a lot.
That's so great.
Stuff is so good.
And like at the beginning of the Dark Side of the Ring thing with fucking Jericho narrating, he's paying how much? Oh, okay. Let's keep going.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to do this and make him sound good.
Good shit, man. And I don't know. He's like, Wardlow couldn't sign the contract, man. How do you sign a contract when your hands are cuffed?
You can't.
Yeah.
You got to take those cuffs off.
Got to get them off.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, it was the only time also that you'll see MJF was getting fist bumps and high fives to the crowd.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's so fucking fun. All right, so talking about fucking Facebook groups. God, man, I swear, people on Facebook, but I guess that stick to Facebook, have no idea what nuance is. Because they someone posted a picture of Punk and was like, "Oh, Punk is healed now. Oh God, I can't believe I don't like Punk is healed." Da-da-da-da. It's like, dude,
he's not a heel.
No, he's not a heel. Yeah. There's nuances. Like, think about what happened. Like,
he's smart enough. He's smart enough. Yeah, he's smart enough to know where he is. He's smart enough to know, hey, no matter what I do, I'm going to get booed.
Yeah.
So, might as well play it up.
Yeah,
it amazes me how much nuance is just lost on people.
Yeah. Yeah, MJF, he's great. He tells everybody, just because so he can still take a shot at the fans, which everybody knows he loves to do. He points up at the top of the stadium and goes, "Oh, and you guys up in the cheap seats?
In the cheap seats,
you're poor, but you're beautiful."
Yeah. God, he's fucking gross.
And he's still got the pop.
And I don't know. I know we'll get to it, but man, the whole lashing segment is probably one of my favorite segments in a very long time.
I can't wait to get to that.
Too, so let's get there.
Because All right, yeah, we gotta get there.
But yeah, he brings up Cody.
Sign the contract. Smart Mark goes through a table. Now he's probably going to wear a neck brace for the next 3 years.
I have an interesting thing for this that I was thinking about is what if they don't let Wardlow beat MJF and he can't sign a contract with AEW and they make him Ring of Honor? At least for a temporary time. And then reignite the fucking MJF shit.
I mean, it's not like you wouldn't see him on Dynamite or AEW programming.
I mean, you'd
anyway.
still end up seeing him. But what if I was thinking about that? If they have an out to where you could actually believe if MJ wins, would they have a direction for Wardlow still?
Dude, I'm puzzled as far as how are they going to get him to how is next week's match going to turn out with MJF being referee? How the fuck do they? I'm curious as to how they're going to work that. Yeah. I don't know. That's what's got me puzzled and kind of excited about it. It's like because I don't know. I'm able to. Okay.
Didn't they just get finished? CM Punk calling MJF a bargain bin Miz, and right now Miz and MJF are both playing shitty heel referees.
Hey, what are the odds, huh?
Yeah, I guess Punk could probably get involved.
I don't see the difference.
I can't see getting Punk involved because he's too ingrained. He's too ingrained in the Adam Page program.
Yeah. I don't know. It's got me intrigued, though, because I'm not sure how they're going to get to Wardlow and JF unless they just don't.
I could see... Well, who's Wardlow's opponent?
Shawn Spears.
Shawn Spears, yeah.
Okay, so... in my booking logic, I would have... Since, he's the chairman... And you got a shitty heel referee who's gonna let anything go. Yeah, I could see Sean taking a swing and accidentally taking out MJF and have Aubrey run in and make the count.
What if?
That's my logic.
I was thinking Aubrey as well, and I don't know if that's just because it's Aubrey. And I think honestly, I don't know that I can, off the top of my head, think of the other referees that are involved. But after Rodney sent that video the other day of her fucking just going into business for herself, I was like, oh man,
stealing the show.
Of course, yes, it's going to be Aubrey that does it.
Referee stealing the show. Yeah. I see.
But that's how I would book. That's how I see.
Yeah,
that's my booking. That's how I would book that.
I'll tell you how I'll book how it happens. Is MJF as the referee slips Shawn Spears the ring, and when Shawn Spears goes to swing and hit Wardlow with the ring, he hits MJF instead of a chair.
But he's the chairman.
Well, then what?
It all comes back around to the ring.
True.
Wardlow powerbombs Shawn Spears on a chair 10 times.
I would like that.
I would like that just to get the perfect 10 chant.
And MJF has no choice but to count because that dude's not moving.
What if they have a Darby match ahead of that and they don't have any more chairs to damage? Because Darby used them all? We're going to get there too. I've got words. Let's go.
Got nothing.
We got to get
there.
We got to get there.
Well, we can skip the FTW championship because that's not a sanctioned title.
It's fucking stupid. Starks and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy loses. Keith Lee.
Literally a belt just to have a belt.
Keith Lee and Swerve fucking fuck it up. Whatever.
Jericho's still a wizard.
I'm a wizard. So yeah, main event. We have Hardy Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. Earlier in the match, they specified that Darby Allin begged for it to be an anything goes match. In a tournament that's supposed to be even odds across the board, they go and they have to make it this an anything goes match. The tournament wasn't gimmick enough. This made me mad. So
this was Jeff and Darby sitting in the locker room going, we're going to have a game of one-upsmanship, and the only way to do it is to have an anything goes match to see who does the craziest shit. Who can outdo the other guy.
But really, it's to hide fucking Jeff's inability to
do anything
in a match.
Do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really care for it because after watching it, it's fucking spot after spot after spot.
Because that's all they can do.
That's all Jeff can do. Fucking, I mean, Darby can have he can have fucking wrestling matches on the floor of the ring or wherever. He does the technical shit. Jeff, no, this is just a match entirely to cover up fucking Jeff's inability to fucking move in a match or do anything.
Look, all I know is this entire match just boils down to that fucking ladder spot. And I was really freaking worried when it was Jeff going up there first. And I'm so glad that they changed that idea and had Darby do it instead.
That was so stupid.
Because I don't see Jeff surviving that. Even though Darby barely did.
Why are we doing that on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Why are we doing it on a Wednesday?
We have the legendary Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin, and Darby jumping from 16, 17 feet up in the air onto 10 chairs on free Wednesday TV.
Why are we doing a spot like that in the middle of it?
It was just that show. They were just like, oh, it's going to be anything goes. We'll see some high flying. Come on.
Why are you doing a spot like that from that kind of a height in the middle of a tournament that's supposed to memorialize Owen Hart?
Yeah. And leading up.
Dude, I didn't even think.
You didn't. Exactly. You didn't even think about that, did you?
I
was just about to say a few minutes ago, is leading up into this match where they fucked up. They showed Martha Hart up in the specialty box, and they were talking about her and everything. Then it's right after they show one of the little vignettes of Darby Allin, and it's Darby Allin dropping into a ring from out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
And then they bring this match up right after they do it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's trash.
Yeah, that did not escape me at all.
Come on, Tony.
I'm going, how on earth could you fucking do that? And you have this widow like here watching this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, besides the ladder spot, the only other spot worth talking about was that fucking swanton Jeff took onto the side of the freaking ring steps. That big giant fucking thud.
I'm not fucking surprised.
Fucking onto the metal stairs. JR ends this match by going. He says, "This has been one of the greatest matches we've had here at AEW."
Yeah,
come on, you senile fuck.
I think Vince was in his earpiece at that point.
Oh man. He doesn't know what to sell and when.
Even close.
He's so lost now. It sucks because I love JR.
Well, he did sign another contract through, I think, for another 2 years at least.
Oh, wait.
So, you'll be living with JR for a little while longer.
Yeah. It fucking, whatever. That made me so mad. The only thing we actually passed up on there was they had a Appreciation Society segment, if y'all were worried about that, and then they had Tony Storm versus Jamie Booty Cheeks.
And Jamie was all I need.
Yeah, But she lost to Toni Storm.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's okay. Thankfully, she's a crony for Dr. Britt, so she's guaranteed to be on TV every week.
I actually think there was another. Was there a match for Scorpio Sky, or was that on Rampage?
That's Rampage.
Oh, yeah, it was Kazarian.
Yeah, which I didn't see, but I know it was on there.
So yeah,
Sammy fucking Guevara still won't go away.
Great signs. Great.
Fucking leave, Sammy. Go to WWE.
Great signs of the night.
Bro.
We had MJF come to my bar mitzvah. And MJF is a sussy baka. Which, if you've played, what's the Imposter game?
Among Us.
That's sussy baka was like their way of saying like a sus bitch kind of thing.
He's a little sus.
So yeah, that wraps up Dynamite for last week. I'm looking at just real quick. Rampage. There was really nothing nothing of interest.
Rampage is gonna rampage.
Yeah, Ruby and Riho, they did pretty good.
Ruby went over. I think
Soho won. But yeah,
they did have a segment with Billy Gunn, the Ass Boys, and the Acclaimed, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, they decided to do the scissors thing. It was fucking great.
Oh yeah, and Billy Gunn was like, "All right, guys, I got y'all a match. We're gonna have a big match. Got y'all a match on Dark Elevation." And they were flipping out like, "Yeah, yeah!"
That's what I've written, bro. They went crazy. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna be on Elevation." Okay, good for you, bro.
Yeah,
See
good
you
job.
on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I mean, yeah, they had the Scorpio Sky Kazarian match, which
I did miss.
Which honestly, like, I was
Scorpio won.
Not really into Kazarian after the whole Elite Hunter thing just
fizzled out. Yeah,
just went nowhere.
Just died out.
But yeah, nothing too exciting. Scorpio won, I'm guessing. Actually.
Yeah, Scorpio won, and he actually turned heel. Well, I guess he was already heel, but he actually turned on Kazarian and beat him down.
Yeah, okay, on to Dynamite.
Yep.
Joker time.
Okay, here we go. I watched this last night. It made me mad.
The introduction of Johnny 87 names.
We have Joe Samoan versus Johnny Elite, formerly known as John Morrison.
Formerly known as Johnny Impact, formerly known as Johnny Mundo, and about 17 other names.
Johnny Nitro.
Yes, forgot about Johnny Nitro.
You look in the crowd, they zoom into the crowd for a bit when he comes out. And there's actually a guy yelling at his best friend next to him. Not really yelling. He's just got like a blank face. And he's looking right in his ear. He's going, "What? What?" Like,
I think everyone expected it to be Gargano. And it was like super excitement. And then he walks out and it's like, aw.
Well, it's like, I didn't necessarily expect it to be Gargano. But then not really knowing.
But then you see Johnny Elite, and I'm going,
right,
okay.
I see Johnny Elite, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not Johnny Wrestling, but he's just
right. He's not going to go Johnny Wrestling now. He's going to go Johnny Elite, and then fucking John Morrison.
And then I was like, damn, he looks really different, like a whole other person. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
That's because he is a whole other person.
Fucking
yeah.
But I don't know. Like in this match, they had like at the very beginning, like, it was weird. They seemed like off step or some shit.
They have no idea. They have no chemistry whatsoever.
There was a spot at some point in the middle of the match when Joe was outside and Johnny Elite was going to do a flip or some shit off the top rope. He kept, it was like, move over this way, signal like the camera's on top of him. It's like, go this way,
low to the right.
And then he did it. He jumped and it completely missed Joe. Missed Joe. And then he like landed on the floor on his side, rolled up, and then got up. Like he was like, "I ain't shit." Like,
well, then I think he almost missed a 450 splash too. I think
he did miss it. He landed
on his knees
and then fell forward.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Well,
they did
go back to Lucha Underground.
They did a lot of grappling in this match that was obviously them calling the match.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They were calling that match on the spot. They were
holding each other probably half the match. and it was for like 10 seconds at a time. It was no quick calls. They were sitting there like talking about dinner.
Yeah.
He did this stupid cartwheel that Joe had to wait for. Did you see that? He had to do this stupid cartwheel deal where he like clotheslined him or whatever. And Joe had to just stand there and wait for him to finish it. Joe, who's known for turning, looking at the crowd, and just fucking kayfabe, and just pretending like, oh, and he'll put his finger up and shush as he moves out of the way of these elaborate moves. He sits there and just waits for it and fucking eats it. It was so bad. Obviously, as we're saying, this is so bad and all. Joe beats him. Lethal comes out. This whole thing, and this is what makes me mad, and this is where I'm going to go on my rant about it. This whole Joker thing. They bring out Joker, which we're going to get to too. It's Wild Card Wednesday. Spoiler alert ahead. The Joker loses in the women's and the men's match. You have two big returns to the big screen, and John Morrison, now Johnny Elite. You put them in this tournament against somebody who has no business being in this tournament. Joe is the Ring of Honor champion. What is he doing in this tournament? Like, he does not need to be there. Lethal probably should be there. And Joe should be interrupting or coming out at the end against Lethal. Because Lethal, you don't need to put the belt in this gimmick tournament. And you can have Lethal lose to John Morrison or Johnny Elite for his big return. You have the Jokers having this big return, and you just bring him in and beat him. And I don't think that makes a lick of fucking sense. I don't know what you guys think, but they booked that.
I don't necessarily
booked that in reverse order of how they should have. They should have had Jay Lethal in this tournament and not Samoa Joe.
I don't necessarily disagree. Only difference is you can't have Lethal in the tournament and Joe coming out and costing him, because that's a heel thing, and Joe's clearly not the heel.
I mean, is Joe really ever a babyface?
But you could very easily remedy that by not fucking wait until after the match is over to have Lethal come out
and then make him lose it.
You know, right. You send him out in the middle of the match and cost him the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where it lost me. Is like, why even bring him out at the end? You just completely blew over Johnny Elite's big introduction to AEW. To oversell this beef between Lethal and Joe.
Which at some point is going to go off of AEW television and go into ROH anyway. Because I'm sure that's how long this feud's going to go.
It didn't make sense to me. And then the best friends come out?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Trent Beretta.
I think it might have just been. Was it just Roppongi Vice?
Roppongi Vice comes out. Trent Beretta and little dude with the eye patch.
Rocky Romero.
I thought Chuck was out there, but maybe
not. Why? So, out of all this,
ROH,
Johnny Elite making his big fucking introduction. You got all this bullshit, all these people coming.
But
out.
is it big? I mean, if you really want to get into that, like, is it really big
if
though?
You're gonna build it for weeks and weeks. You have this Joker, this mysterious Joker that's going to face probably one of the best people you have in the company, and you're going to call it Wild Card Wednesday because we're going to figure out who the Jokers are, and you're just going to fucking bring these people in and squash them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they were there for.
Fucking awful. Like, and Joe has a belt, so like you can't have him lose to a guy when he's got the belt.
Well,
not
and
without
if
having
like, on the other end,
cheap shit come out.
On the other end, you can't just have Britt Baker lose.
That's where I was getting at with that is if I was going to pick one to lose, I would rather have somebody kind of like they're doing with Cody and Seth, where Britt can lose. And as the heel, be like, I didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Joe goes out there and Joe smash, Joe kill everyone. So, like, you can't really use that type of, angle there. But that would have been perfect for Britt. Like, oh, I'm the victim. Oh. So, yeah.
And who does he face?
Who?
Does he face Jeff?
Yeah.
No. Kyle O'Reilly.
No, because Kyle O'Reilly faced Ray Phoenix.
And
so that means...
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. I guess he's gonna face we'll get to the match. He's gonna face Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Baby.
That's a match that happens later. We have Hardy versus Cole.
Hey, I appreciate Adam Cole not getting his full entrance, but still making time to do the baby.
It's contractually obligated.
Hey, I have no problem with that. And honestly, I have no problem with it. I do like his entrance for whatever reason. As fucking labored as it is.
Boom.
Yeah, we finally get Matt Hardy in the next segment, calling the Young Bucks cosplay Hardys.
Hardy cosplayers.
The Hardly Boys.
I really don't want this match to happen. I really don't.
They've been teasing it on BTE, and it's like...
I really don't. I know it's going to, but I really don't.
It's been underwhelming build-up for it and everything. It's just... There's no story behind it. It's just them... I don't know. Yeah, I don't want it. Not right now.
I want nothing to do with it. I kind of want the Hardys to just go away.
Instead of just, like I've brought up to y'all before, is when you brought the Hardys in originally, beef them straight up with it, have Jeff or Matt come out and say, oh, I'm trying to get Jeff in the company, but the Hardy Boys, the Hardly Boys, keep blocking it because they're executives and making them do their little beef right away.
That was definitely a feud that probably should have happened. Yeah, you're right. That feud should have happened right away.
They should have got that, gone right into it. Got that match while everybody was tuning in because we didn't have time to see how bad a shape Matt and Jeff are really in.
Pretty rough shape now, which we've already talked about.
It's
ad nauseum.
At the point to where we actually feel sorry for them. We're not excited for them anymore. We feel sorry for their bodies and their families and shit at this point. So now you're gonna have to go put them in a match with the Young Bucks, and it doesn't make sense. It's too late to me.
I'm not usually one that will talk about the roster, how big it is, but when you have them taking time away from other talent that could have, that could do something else on national TV, you got Jeff and Matt taking up time.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird because when he first debuted, I was all into it. When Jeff was coming in, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. This has not been great. It's not been fucking... It's not.
Well, this is one of those situations where I feel like, and not that I praise them a whole lot nowadays, but that's one thing where I think WWE kind of has it figured out. There's a reason why at a certain point in your career, at a certain age, they go, dude, you guys, like, you're done. Like, we're basically just going to use you as a novelty.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they should be at this point. Like, you're just a novelty. Yeah. We'll not trot you out, but, we'll use you from time to time, but there's no reason for you to be having high profile matches on a weekly basis.
For a tournament like this.
Right.
At this point, you should be seeing Jeff and Darby teaming together like Sting is. Not seeing Jeff headline a tag team rivalry.
Fucking Sting has out-wrestled Jeff Hardy. Like,
kind of has.
More fucking capable than he is. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, after that, we had Adam Page versus Konosuke Takeshita. Took me a while to get that name right.
Fantastic match. I was very entertained by it.
Yeah, I believe earlier you were shitting on Adam Page.
I didn't say I like Adam Page as part of it.
Dick.
I didn't say that.
But yeah, no, fucking Konosuke Takeshita. Dude's awesome.
Dude's fucking money.
Yeah, he is.
And this was, and again, I don't follow, and I really need to start doing it, but this is actually the first time I've ever seen him wrestle.
This is like the third star in the past month they've fed him to another star.
This is the first time I watched him.
He lost to Jay Lethal on Rampage. I think his second match, he debuted on Dark, I think, or Dark Elevation, one or two, and won that match.
Didn't he wrestle like, was it Moxley or something? Like last week? Or the week before? It's like, he's lost like 3 matches in a row. They were pushing him as like this new addition from, was it DDT or wherever? And they've just been squashing him with like the big names.
Well, they've been glorified squashes if that's the case, because I mean, he seemed pretty competitive.
No, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is they're making him really good matches, but they've built him up with. I mean, they're not giving him any wins. I mean, they may be on Dark and such.
No, I mean, he's obviously just there to. I mean, he's obviously got a little bit of star power, but you're not planning on doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, it was like he did the last ride powerbomb.
He did. I was very impressed by that. I'm going, uh-oh.
I was like, Jesus Christ, is Adam Page going to come down? Like, he's
the
tall.
last ride.
I guess we got to bring up CM Punk's shirt when he came out. His shirt,
do we really have to?
Abortion rights are human rights. And he was in Texas, so it was pretty funny.
Punk loves that controversy.
And they focused on that shirt, too. The camera, just front and center. Yeah. Boom. Fuck you, Texas.
It's okay, because all it did was wake up Jackson, the former Jackson Riker on Twitter or something.
Jeff Hardy, Jeff Ross was quiet.
Did it really?
Oh, it did.
Oh,
he had some choice words for Mr. Punk.
I bet he was probably pretty misinformed as well.
Well, when you're sitting at the back of your pickup truck with your Confederate, never mind. I'm not even going to go there.
No, and I think they had a sign that said, I paid to see CM Punk. I guess I don't remember seeing the sign before he came out, but I know seeing the sign, seeing comment on Reddit, seeing the sign afterwards, that sign was crossed out.
Yeah, I saw the X through it.
Damn. They implement it, like, just saying, like, wow, he came out with this shirt? Oh, fuck Punk.
Yeah, screw that guy. And
I hate politics in my wrestling.
And his beliefs.
I didn't know if it was that, or it was somebody just making a quick sign and putting, like, the X's from his wrist.
But it was crossed out.
They had, like, the X
the
on
entire
the middle, like,
poster.
So I didn't know how to take that.
Yeah, that was an angry cross out.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
I don't like politics and my insert hobby here.
Yeah. Why don't they just shut up and
angry comment?
Wrestle?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good match though. That Paige and Takeshita. This little CM Punk controversy.
I'd say he hit the GTS a lot better than Punk's fucking buckshot lariat. So
my one aside to the whole thing was I found it a little interesting during their stare down at the end of the match. When Punk was playing to the crowd, he got a good pop, and then he was getting some boos, and then Paige lifts his belt up playing to the crowd, and he got a pop, and then he got some boos, and I'm going, this is an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, who knows?
Are they truly going into this, face versus face, or is Paige kind of getting a little heel heat? Maybe people feel like I do. He needs to get that fucking belt off his shoulder.
Go away, heel heat.
It's go away, heel.
We have to be mad at you because we're.
It might be go away heat.
We have to be mad at you because we're just tired of seeing you with that fucking belt.
Meanwhile, I'm enjoying this title reign. So,
do you drink?
Nope.
You drink Diamond Dogs?
He does.
I don't know.
And if he didn't, he does now.
I don't drink Diamond Dogs, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. I am Diamond Dog.
Now he's the heel over here.
According to Metal Gear Solid 5, I am the Diamond Dog. The big boss.
Rocky just made his heel turn.
Watch out.
So yeah.
We got tag team match. I guess, and yeah, we got tag team match with Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus the Workhorsemen. Yeah.
They didn't work very hard.
Yeah, JD
kids
JD
these
Drake
days. That's this generation of workers.
JD Drake is on my television far more than he should be.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row?
When they were stuffing QT Marshall down my throat.
Oh, QT.
Yeah, Drake's pairing with the random people and random matches and whatever.
But yeah, I mean, really, this was just to set up. This was just to set up the triple threat or the 3-way at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, Hobbs and Stark.
Christian booking more matches for Jungle Boy.
Hey, Christian with the power to book matches.
Look, hey, you know what? Hey, look, he worked it into his contract.
Yeah,
AEW doing very WWE things.
You have Hobbs and Starks come out. Starks is in a matching blue shorts and dress shirt outfit. And Swerve says he looks...
What did Swerve say?
He looks like a bar of soap.
Yes.
With a pearl necklace.
Yes.
With his pearl necklace on.
And then Jurassic Express comes out. And what'd they say? Said something about his he looks like he's wearing his grandfather's old golfing outfit. So yeah, this is all just a setup. They're going to do a 3-way for the titles: Jurassic Express, Hobbs, Starks, and Keith Lee and Swerve. All kind of sudden with this Keith Lee and Swerve shit.
Yeah, I think Christian goes ahead and books a 3-way between Jungle Boy. Is it Starks?
Yeah,
and Swerve.
And Swerve.
Yeah, we got that next week.
And now we get to the 10 lashes.
Oh, Jesus. I got words on this one too.
Oh man, I love this. This was fucking...
My only words on this is... I know Wardlow's, again, built like a fucking brick house, but I don't know how you take those... I don't know how you take it and you don't flinch.
Yeah. Especially, I saw one of them come over the shoulder too. And hit him right in the clavicle.
Dude, I don't know how you didn't flinch.
It's a tough motherfucker, man.
Shoot.
Jesus.
I hate these fucking whipping segments. And I know I'm going to sound like a social justice warrior here. Can you do this segment with Keith Lee?
No.
I mean,
not, no.
Think about. So, why do this at all? If this is just something you can only do because obviously the only reason why you can do it is because everyone taking part is white, basically. Sean Spears up in the air. But he's Canadian, so whatever. It's just it makes for a cringe segment. Like all the things you can do, why you gotta fucking whip him? Like what? Like we get it. This whole time, all these years, he's been your little contracted slave. But why? We did it with Cody. Can we just not?
Well,
do
when
it
you
again?
put it in that context,
Yeah.
Can we just not do it again? I don't know.
that was the only thing I disagreed with. Is you've already done this once, and it's like, is that going to be like part of your gimmick? Like that's part of
That's your way to humiliate people.
Yeah, that's your trial and tribulation every time you get into an MJF feud.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he gets into a feud, it's I had these stipulations before we can get into a match.
Which is fine,
I mean,
but is it going to be 10 lashes every time? Until you get to Keith Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, for Wardlow, I don't know. I'd never thought of it in that context.
I didn't either.
It's like bringing out a segment where you hang somebody. You can't do that.
Well, no, that's just murder.
And then they're doing it in Houston. They're doing it in the South. They're whipping them. You can't do that. It's awkward.
I went to getting off track, but also within the same vein. I went to an independent show. Oh Lord, I don't know how many years ago it was now. Probably 7 years ago. And they did something very similar. And it was not two white guys. And they tied it, put his arms in between the ropes or whatever and just caned the shit out of him. And it was very uncomfortable. Even for me.
I don't know.
But you could tell everybody that was in that high school gym was incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah. For what happened and what it is, I thought it was good. But there's a lot else they could have done.
There's some. Yeah, I mean, I can see where there'd be some undertones.
You can humiliate him some other way. But, I mean, they executed it fine. You got everybody screaming Wardlow like Goldberg. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, in the end,
he's got the security escort.
It comes off with Wardlow just, yeah.
He took it like a man till he got taken to Dick Kick City.
And everybody was saying, leading up, that, this whole thing's storyline is copying Goldberg's old storyline. So I just thought it was funny with no music and the security bringing him in. Everybody was, Wardlow, Wardlow. It felt like Goldberg was coming in. So I thought that was pretty cool.
This is better than Goldberg.
But yeah, 10 lashes to the back with the belt, and the dude didn't even budge. So yeah, that was pretty cool. At the end, he had that one where he just got the tick, and he was like,
Yeah, there was one I think he felt real. He felt
the ninth one. He ate it, and that's when he got in MJF's face. And I don't know whether or not he was just selling it just to sell it, or maybe he finally caught a sting. Caught him in the right spot. It had to have hurt either way.
Yeah,
but yeah,
much
MJF
respect.
Eventually gets mad, gets his 10 lashes, and then for the 10th one, he kicks him in the nuts. And then starts to fucking beat the shit out of him with the belt, and then goes to choke him with the belt.
And as the trope goes, Sean Spears did his special move on Wardlow in the ring, and he counted to 3, so that means he can beat him.
That's true.
After he got punched with the infamous ring.
the beautiful diamond ring.
Which is why I feel like the ring could come full circle here. They haven't really involved the ring. I think that would be cool to have Shawn Spears give him the ring just to use it, and then he punches MJF. But
good.
Yeah,
stuff.
Spears wins.
On to the next.
O'Reilly Phoenix. I wasn't really that impressed. I didn't really write anything.
Kyle O'Reilly won.
O'Reilly won. It was another Phoenix match. They all kind of look alike to me now.
Yeah.
So,
funnily enough, I don't really remember this match, so I guess it was that memorable.
All I remember was basically like every time Ray Phoenix was trying to do any kind of high fly shit, Kyle O'Reilly would basically just ground him and put him in like a leg vine or an arm bar or some kind of rest hold.
Now, if you're asking me, was I excited about Maki Ito? Yes.
We're not there
yet. That was amazing. No, but I just had to get there and say I wanted her to show up, and she did.
Because next you have the confrontation between Chris Jericho and William Regal, which was kind of cringe.
Jericho.
Yeah, I wasn't into this.
Oh, did he? But that's because he's a wizard. He can do that.
I wasn't into this until Moxley stepped up and said, no, I'm not doing this fucking stadium stampede bullshit.
Yeah.
They did.
That was a different time, different era.
They cut the music for Judas.
Yes, they did.
Finally, I've been saying for weeks now that they need to do that.
Well, they did the thing.
And everybody kept singing it. Kept fucking singing it,
and they're gonna keep fucking singing it. While he was
talking, he finally had to yell at everyone, "Shut your mouths!"
It's taken on a life of its
own.
own.
It was fucking great. But yeah, he tells everyone to shut their mouth. Oh man, Chris Jericho looks at Regal and goes, "I thought you'd be dead by now. I'm surprised your brain still works. You could have been a world-class wrestler, but you became a world-class addict." Wow. Yeah, that was a bit much there.
You know what? But it's okay, because Regal used to take his toothbrush and...
Yes. It was just so... Yeah. Regal turns around and takes this beef and says that for the past...
Even to this day, he does
25 years he's been doing this. Like, come on.
And you know what? I believe it 100%.
What an old man joke turned into a wrestling angle. Like, I know my grandpa's told me a joke about a toothbrush going in an ass before. And here I am, Regal, making it a joke on the show. Or an angle.
That wasn't a joke. That's right. Real. That's real life. That is a real life
Secret
life rib.
Agent Regal.
Well, that's not going to work for me.
But it was nice to. It was nice to
be in the wrestling industry.
Well, it was nice to have the reference to piss it in the teacup.
Yeah.
Or piss it in his tea.
He even calls that out that he'll do it again. Oh man! Then Jericho turns to Daniel Bryanson. And he says, if you continue to hang with Regal, he's going to start feeding you drugs and whiskey until you're in rehab with Moxley. Holy shit.
He went there. That's what I said. I was like, good lord.
It gave me vibes, the cringe vibes that I got back in WWE a few years ago when Samoa Joe was doing the, oh, hey, Jay. Or... In the Jeff, why aren't you? I'm at the bar right now. Why don't you come down and have a drink?
Oh, Wendy.
he was doing these promos where he was just this evil fucking coming right at people with their darkest, deepest fucking insecurities and shit. And it was like, is this WWE? Yeah, that's Chris Jericho. All of a sudden, he's coming out with these fucking ribs on him. Like, God damn, dude, slow down. There's an SNL skit.
I bet you he's going to be sports entertainer of the week again.
It might be best promo of the week, or most insulting. There's an SNL skit with the Rock when he pretends to be a wrestler and he's talking to one of the guys and they're recording the promo, and he says to him like the little small guy's telling the Rock like, "Oh, I'm gonna crush you and I'm gonna break your bones in half." Ah! And then the Rock gets the mic and he turns and looks at him and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, your wife told me that you're on Viagra because you can't get it up, and you take Rogaine because your hair doesn't grow anymore." And like telling him like all this deep shit, and he's like, guy starts crying.
It's almost like that fucking MJF line talking about Brian Pillman and how his mother should have had him aborted.
Oh man.
It's like, Jesus Christ, just go scorch earth on him. That's it. That's all right. He fucking killed his career with that line.
It's crazy. Yeah.
God, now I'm thinking about that SNL skit. It's fucking classic.
Oh, yeah, it's great. If you haven't seen it, Rocky, you need to do so. You probably have seen it.
I have not.
You need to, because by the end of it, is the third take on the promo. He basically it talks about how he found him an online girlfriend and thought he was talking to a woman and basically catfished him at the
whole time. It was actually The Rock.
It was The Rock the whole time.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh my god.
Now you're going to kill yourself. Oh, dude, it's fucking great.
All right, Rocky, your segment's up.
Yeah. Britt Baker versus the Joker and women's Joker, Maki Ito. And she comes out singing like glorious like she does. I don't know. Look. Like Danhausen, I'm a fan of comedy wrestlers. I will. First time I saw her, I made myself a part of the Ito Respect Army. Yeah, I don't know. She's got the hardest skull in all of wrestling. So.
I think it's hilarious.
Although it's a bit inconsistent.
Hey, you know, she's using her head.
I will say they did have me at the very beginning of the match. I thought the fix was in.
Yeah.
I really thought the fix was in. I was like, they got history. They're both heels. This makes sense. But no.
No.
It was an elaborate ruse.
Yep. But I don't know. She's always entertaining. Always. So that is a fun match.
I definitely think she could definitely be giving a little bit more opportunity. A little more TV time. She's definitely entertaining.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
Again, though, you had her come back, then you had her like fucking lose.
Well, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like she found American curse words, and then that's her gimmick. Not really, but it's fucking amazing.
It is her gimmick. Fucking flipping the bird and motherfucking everybody.
The best part of the segment, though, to me, was Jamie Hayter came out in yoga pants.
That's, of course.
Like
okay.
the TikTok yoga pants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nice.
Oh, it's always nice.
Very nice.
On the screen.
Moving from the thirst onto the main event, I guess. Anybody else have anything to say about DMD?
No, she won. Tony Storm came out and basically did nothing because that's what Tony Storm seems to do. Come out and say nothing.
Deeb had a weird promo.
And you had Deeb got really fucking weird. Deeb got really weird.
I shaved my head. Again,
another segment that just got promo. Really, really fucking uncomfortable.
I shaved my head.
Yeah.
I put breast implants in.
And it's all true, but none of it needed to be said.
Damn it, dude.
It's all true. And I feel like this was done and said in a response to the walkout by Sasha and Naomi.
Maybe.
It's too coincidental that happens and then all of a sudden you're throwing shade like that to WWE.
I didn't like they do the big slap. She slaps the shit out of Dustin after Thunder Rosa's already coming down. So you think the slap would be
it wasn't paced
a big
right.
spot, I guess you would call it. A big moment.
Well, you would do the slap and then you get Thunder Rosa out.
Real quick. They had the camera on Thunder Rosa, your women's champion, coming down the ramp. And they had to cut real quick because I guess Deeb didn't slap her in time or they were running out of time or something. But I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, this segment was just all over the place. And just like her delivery was not great. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just awkward.
I mean, I'm happy for Deeb getting her TV time, which is great. But I don't think that she needs to be taking up main event spot.
See, when I think, in the past, I think her pre-recorded promos actually came across pretty good. This one was just not there.
None of her live promos have been good.
No,
none of them.
No,
I'm kind of the same way with Thunder Rosa, though.
Well, I don't know if Thunder Rosa is so much a language issue or like a. I don't know if it's so much of a language issue than a delivery issue.
I think it's more delivery. She doesn't sound intimidating.
No.
Which I guess she's supposed to be a babyface, so I guess that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being picky. But I love Thunder Rosa. It's
but I mean, she is a babyface, so she has to cut those white meat babyface promos.
But they, are y'all familiar with Xenoblade?
I've heard of it.
They had a sign.
Yes and no.
Xenoblade is a way better game series than Earthbound. Okay, thanks.
Damn.
Very, very big statement to have in the front row of AEW.
Well, I have no dog in that fight.
Granted, I don't like Earthbound. If we're gonna get into this conversation real quick on a soapbox aside, I don't know much about Earthbound, but I know that I don't like it. Like what little I've tried of it way back in the day. But I have not played anything of Xenoblade other than what I've read and heard and seen. But can I say one's better than the other? Not really.
I'd like to see some hot takes on signs about Metal Gear Solid series, so let's have it happen.
Let's start. We need the people to get them on screen. Snake got fucked. Snake fucked Snake. Yeah, and
Huey fucking screwed Huey. Yes, Adam Cole defeats Jeff Hardy.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there was
nothing exciting.
Well, I guess one thing. I don't remember if this happened. He didn't do a Panama Sunrise, right?
I do not believe he did because I'm pretty sure he's not capable of doing it on Jeff.
Right, that's what I was saying. It's like there's no way that he's going to be able to do a Panama Sunrise, but like that's what I was looking for the entire match.
No, it was like I think it was just a lot of running knees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hardy.
Yeah, I don't think I could trust Jeff to try to execute something as complex as a Panama Sunrise correctly.
I had that thought, and I was like, I wonder if they're going to try to do it. And that's what my main attention, like that's what I was focused on the match.
Well, thankfully they didn't try it.
Well,
and now obviously the big thing after the match was like the beatdown.
Yeah.
And I guess Sting must have used up all his dates on his contract. Got to write him off TV for a minute.
Yeah.
Save a few dollars.
Man, they better bring his ass back. Fucking have a graveyard match between him and Jeff Hardy.
I hate that angle. That's the Brian Pillman angle.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
that concludes AEW.
Yeah. I don't have anything else for them.
Funny, only thing, they didn't really do anything with Jade Cargill the past 2 weeks.
No, they've been having her come out in like flesh-colored bodysuits for some reason.
See-through, just about.
Yeah.
And I love how every time she sees Tony Schiavone, she goes, "Tony, cut the shit." That's it.
Her one this week was pretty good because I didn't think it looked like she wasn't going to do it, and then she like walked back.
Oh, it's so good. It's like just so they can hit their shit quota for national television.
They got to hit their.
It's so good. It's so like I don't know. I love what she's got going on right now, and then fucking Mark Sterling, like with fucking.
Dude, he's got the neck brace and the crutches. I'm telling you, it's going to be like this for the next 2 years.
He's the beat up agent working for multiple people. So, like, he gets fucked up for one, comes to the other all sad and fucking destroyed.
Actually, I kind of want to see him, like, start falling apart. Like, I want to see him get beat up every week, and, like, the following show, he's, like, got an arm cast on, and the next thing you know, he's got, like, a leg cast, and...
What a guy... this was not my booking, but it's pretty funny. One of the guys from Woke Culture was saying, like, what? It's like, I want him to come down a double or nothing or whatever in a full body cast. Just somehow be in a full body cast.
Homeboy from Office Space. In the wheelchair, all casted up.
I was saying, it's like wheel him out down the ramp.
But he settled with Tony for like a huge insurance fucking check. So like he's making.
Oh yeah.
He took the insurance money from getting his ass beat and fucking put it in Bitcoin while it's in the dip. And like it's okay, so he like sells it as like just a business decision. Yeah, this past week was fucking whatever wrestling. I mean, you had a few good bits, but something that bothered me this past week is actually the week before I really started thinking about it. Forgot to bring it up last week. Was does it bother y'all that everybody sits for these fucking shows? We went to this little shitty Impact show and fucking 300 people, whatever the fuck it was. We were at the front row. We were standing 90% of the time, fucking hyping these motherfuckers up to give them a good show. I watch these AEW shows, and you watch old Attitude Era. Everybody's standing. Everybody's fucking pounding on the gate. But you watch these shows now, WWE, AEW, everybody's fucking sitting. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
until there's like a huge spot where somebody's on the floor in front of them.
That's really the only time. Other than, what is there to get excited about? At least on WWE's side, like, what is there to get excited about? You're watching the same two guys or the same teams every week.
But I mean, how much
having rematch after rematch after rematch, doing the exact same.
Yeah,
how much are you paying? I can tell you how much you're paying for fucking ringside seats for WWE. Exactly. You're paying $500 a pop.
I've seen the prices, and like it's like, why are you paying that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd say it's not something I ever really paid attention to at AEW. I would say I noticed that watching. I think it was like a highlight of the Alexa Bliss, Sonya Deville match. Just everybody was sitting down. It was quiet as hell. Just
I guarantee
quiet.
What is there to give a shit about that match? What is there to give a shit about? You don't give a shit about Sonya Deville.
Alexa Bliss.
You have no earthly idea what they're doing. What are you doing with Alexa Bliss?
Loves Alexa.
You're doing nothing with her.
You know?
But what are you doing with her?
You gotta, if they're not getting pops in the crowd, you know, you're going to have the writers and stuff watching this going like, oh, well, they're not getting pops, so we're not going to book them in anything fucking cool anyway. It's
weird, too, because
you have to suspend that disbelief or whatever.
But how can you suspend disbelief on a return for, again, Alexa Bliss when you've had her come back now 2 weeks in a row? Your first week was, of course, your first week, I get it. Like, you had your big pop because that was your big return. But it was a 30-second squash. She came and she went. This week, she came, had a decent match, and then left. Like, no promo, no story, no anything. So why would I give a shit? Other than the fact that Alexa Bliss is on my TV.
Pass the time while we wait for Cody.
Also, it's weird, too, because, like, at least the one WWE show that I went compared to the one AEW show that I went to, their shows are different in the sense that WWE will have a package play, or will have they're just their shows are just weird. Like for the live audience, they do all kind of shit in between commercial breaks, or like they'll have the wrestlers come out and then go to commercial break, but then they're just chilling in the ring until they come back to the commercial, and then they start up their entrance music again or some shit. It's real weird, and there's a lot. At least again, that one show that I went to pre-pandemic, there was a lot that took away from the momentum of the show. Dynamite, it was bam, 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 pretty much. With WWE shows, it's just there's a whole lot of shit that does not happen in the ring during those shows.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the AEW show. Like, you would have a little package that they would play during commercial break, but I mean, like, at the very least, Justin Roberts like playing to the crowd, or
right.
You know, they were trying to do something to keep you engaged while the live portion was on break.
Right. Like, I think for the Raw show that we went to, they were playing some kind of segment, I think, or doing something, and then Big Show came out to do his Connor, what is it?
The Connor's Cure?
Yeah, the Connor's Cure tribute and stuff like that, and they did that for the live audience. It was like, I don't know. And
but then you had a women's match with the Riot Squad coming out, going up against, I don't know, it was Bliss and Ronda, and I don't remember who. And yeah, both teams came out, and they had their commercial break, and everything went dark, and they were just kind of hanging around in the ring doing whatever.
Yeah. Real weird. The show's definitely produced weird.
But as far as like live crowd goes, like a TV interpretation, I definitely feel the AEW crowd is typically a little bit more animated. Yeah. And they do tend to, maybe not so much stand up, but definitely they get into the show as far as chants and stuff like that. And I know that because, I mean, that's what we just experienced.
Yeah.
But WWE, I mean, almost every match that I've watched, besides your pop for the entrances, everybody's sitting on their asses just kind of watching, not getting excited about anything, unless you have a match that goes longer than you think it was going to go, and all of a sudden you get a "This is awesome" chant.
If Tony knew what I would be given in the front row at these shows, he would be sending me free tickets every week. I'd be on every live fucking show.
Put me on the payroll and fly me everywhere.
Banging on the fucking barricades.
Right. I mean, you saw how hard we worked for fucking DVDs, man.
Hey, look, you give me an incentive. Oh, yeah.
It's part of the fans are just as much as the experience as the wrestlers when it comes to pro wrestling. So that's why you give the extra little bit because you know they're going to have the cameras going.
Yeah, I mean, even an introvert like me fucking get all excited and animated and yelling and shit.
Well, that was definitely like the thing that I learned at the Impact show. Just, man, being that close, being that interactive with the wrestlers and shit like that. It was just, that was a whole different level.
It's the only way I can do it now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys got anything else?
Nah, I think we're out of topics for this particular week.
Long week where we covered five shows.
Yeah, and we're going to try to be more consistent about it, so we're not covering, especially like the same show twice in 1 week. Yeah. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Wrestlecast. If you want to drop us a line or have a question for us, email us at laughingmangamecast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at laughingmannet. Thank you for listening. See you next time.
Peace.